Hello and welcome to another Rome Total War replay. So today we're going to be seeing Greece versus Egypt. This is fairly straightforward in Rome because Egypt at this point is less advanced than they were later on. By that I mean ancient Egypt was a very disorganised army compared to what it would later become. More of a Hellenic army. So let's get on with the battle. You can already see out front I've got 5 Greek armoured hoplites, and then I've got 3 Spartans. Those are going to move in a moment. I've also got 3 archers here. Oh no, that's 3 peltasts. And then I've got 3 Rhodian slingers as well. So let's go along this line. I've got General's Bodyguard here. This is the armoured version, just to give me something, hopefully, that would stand up to chariots and anything else that Egypt can throw at me. Back here I have a ballista. I was just sort of hoping to use this to bait my enemy into attacking me, although that's not what's about to happen. So already you're starting to see things move. That's the armoured hoplites moving. I also have 4 units of Greek Cav, and I've got... what is it? Is it 4? 1, 2, 3... Oh man, this is really confusing. 1, 2... So we're 3 back there, there's another one. 4. So 4 units of Greek Cav. I'm hiding quite a few in the forest over there. I'm just going to speed this up quickly. Now, the reason that Egypt isn't really that good a faction in this game, as I've actually already explained, is the fact that it's a Hellenic... Oh, here we go. It's the fact that it's not a Hellenic culture in Rome 1. In Rome 2 it's more of a Hellenic culture. You can get pikemen, hoplites, fairly good cav, well actually some very good cav units. But here you have to rely a bit more on Egypt's archers and things that it can do at range, although this is a very good cost army. You can see I only had 3 Spartans. My enemy was able to bring 7 Pharaoh's Guard, which you just saw. And these have gold on them, so that is very good value. He's got 4 Pharaoh's Bowmen. Again, surprisingly good value for quite good units. So certainly you do get quite a good, well I should say good cost. Good bang for your buck, maybe? I don't know. Just trying to make up words in my head at the moment. So he's brought 4 heavy onagers, and this is what's going to change my approach to how I engage him. So I'm going to start by rushing forward with my Rhodians. Meanwhile, he's advancing his cav into the forest. This is an opponent that I've played several times, and the one thing he knows is that he can't trust me. So he is going to try and find any hidden units that I've put in here. Although the thing is, I have brought Greece, and on the flanks he has 4 of these Nile cav, and there's 2 here in the forest, there's 2 on the other side. That's a good choice for going up against Greece, because Greece is going to not do terribly well here. I'm just going to turn the volume up, because I don't think this is quite right. So these Pharaoh's Bowmen actually have a really nice range, and they're hitting me from over there. I probably should have brought Cretans to deal with this, but even then, I'm not actually sure who would win between the Pharaoh's Bowmen and the Cretans, because compared to Rome 2, where the Cretans have, I believe it's quick reload as a perk, so the archers will actually reload faster. And Egyptian archers don't have that much range in Rome 2 either, which is another strange thing, so the Cretans would clearly win. Here, the Egyptian archers are more on a level par with the Cretan archers, so I mean that's something I'll have to try at some point and see what happens. But as you can see, I've sent my Rhodian slingers back. They've lost quite a few men, because a healthy unit would be about 80. So you can see I've lost almost half a unit there, certainly lost half a unit there. So that's quite disappointing. So my tactic now is to rush the Egyptian line. On the left flank over here I have had a small cavalry engagement, and you can see I've lost quite a bit of cav there. He's got his 2 Nile cav hiding there. I'm going to try and send my Greek Cav round. I'm also bringing the hoplites up on the left flank. They were hidden in the forest, out of hoplite formation. That's no longer the case. Here I've actually managed to rout the Nile Cav on the right flank with my General's Bodyguard. The reason for this is I heavily upgraded my General's Bodyguard, so morale, gold stats, so easily able to clear out the Nile Cav. I suspect the Nile Cav weren't heavily upgraded. Just a suspicion, but that's what I think happened. I mean, you can see here the Egyptian general heavily upgraded there, so obviously gold, plus 2 morale boosts there. Maybe, well, actually, maybe it's a rank bonus. So I've left the 3 Spartans on the left flank here. He hasn't turned his onagers yet, or he hasn't turned that one slightly. You can also see I've spread out the armoured hoplites very thinly. There goes my general. We did have a lot of lag in the game, so I did actually charge my general accidentally into this Egyptian Pharaoh's guard. My opponent was probably thinking, what the fuck, Ben? Honestly? So yes, as you can see, the fact that I've spread my line out means I can engage and basically just hold a lot of his Pharaoh's guard together. The reason I've gone for the armoured hoplites is actually because they have such a high defence bonus. So I knew I'd come under a lot of archer fire, and having the armoured hoplites would certainly help me compared to having Spartans, which are very weak and certainly very susceptible to javelins. Less so with the armoured hoplites because of the high defence bonus. So they're doing quite well as a main front line. Out back, we did have a problem with the Nile Cav going after the skirmishers and the Ballister and the Peltasts, and he's now going to come into the back of the armoured hoplite. So that was a good idea, but that's going to be followed up by my General's Bodyguard, which is severely depleted right now, only on 11. And that's going to destroy him. Over here the Spartans are engaging. They've completely wrapped up one unit of Pharaoh's Guard, but you can see the quality of the Pharaoh's Guard is pretty good because they're still holding on despite how much they're being completely wrecked here. But I am breaking through the centre, as you can see. On this flank here you can see just 2 armoured hoplites, and the Pharaoh's Guard have decided to retreat there. Or at least that's 1 unit, still 1 more to go. Spartans running through. I'm going to send them into the onagers, possibly, or even into the archers at this point. So we can see there, the fact they're so armoured, they can just run straight into the spear formation of the Pharaoh's Guard. That tankiness really does help, and you can see I've been able to just sort of hold the units that were over here whilst pinning them down and just sort of killing them off. Here I'm going to lose the General's Bodyguard units, but I've still got some Greek Cav, as you can see, so I'm not entirely done for yet. But here I'm just going to get rid of the onager crews. I've simply had enough of having to deal with them. Over there you can see the Egyptian Cav General, and he's just chasing off some of my Greek Cav there. So you can see I'm also just holding position on some of the onagers and the armoured hoplites. There's not much point in me trying to chase down the archers at this point, so what I'm going to do is just get rid of the onager crews and then see what I can do about the archers. So over here, we'll just zoom in. This is one of the last Pharaoh's Guard fighting to the death. Or they were fighting to the death. Oh, now they are. Oh, more fleeing. So yeah, I basically chose this army with a simple idea of camping, using the armoured hoplites to sort of take most of the damage from the Egyptians. Because I was expecting chariots and other things, which Egypt is quite heavy on. They could certainly have brought chariot archers, or just chariots and rammed them into the back of the hoplite formations. Yeah. So anyway, yes, I was going to form a big line back here, have the ballista behind, and then bring the hoplites in on the flank, the Spartans. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened, but I have managed to win here quite well. So what's happened is the armoured hoplites have taken most of the flak up front from the onagers. They haven't suffered too much, and they've been able to do all the damage I needed. Meanwhile, the Spartans, who have more damage but less of a defence bonus, I brought in on the flank, and that has worked really well in just sort of crushing the Egyptian resistance. I think if I'd gone in one long line of armoured hoplites versus the Egyptian Pharaoh's Guard, it may have taken much longer to win this battle. So it is nice to sort of wrap things up fairly quickly like that. As you can see though, I do still have a problem with the Pharaoh's Guard, or Pharaoh's Bowmen. They are very good archers, so they are Pharaoh's Bowmen, so whether they have a high morale bonus or something, because I believe by this point the general of the Egyptians has fled the field. But they are just being rather annoying. So there's one unit over there. This unit over here is certainly more interesting because it's managed to fend off some Greek Cav, and looking at the casualties, it's taken out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Egyptian Cav. There's still 39 of them left. I mean, there's a few dead, but I mean, it was running away from the Greek Cav. Bearing in mind these guys only have knives, apart from what I presume is quite good armour, it is fairly impressive, because usually Greek Cav would make archers rout. So yeah, this is a very robust unit. So I think certainly if you're doing Egypt versus Greece, or you are Egypt, a better tactic is just to keep withdrawing and opening fire as much as you can. I mean, the one problem with Rome, and I think to a degree Rome too, is that the ammo limit and the amount of damage you can do is, well, it's just limited when it comes to archers. So certainly with Egypt you need to be very clever in how you defeat Greece, and you can't allow them to box up. It's one of the important things. I think maybe a rolling sort of desert map may have suited Egypt better, and then some of the units also have a desert bonus. I'm not sure how much that affects the unit's quality, but it may have helped, because you certainly get armour-piercing units. There's Desert Cav and Desert Axemen. Both could be used to go into the back of units like the hoplites. Just do a bit of armour-piercing damage.
Gods be praised! This victory is surely their work, not that of mortals like us.
Other than that, you also have, I mean, the chariots again. Nile Cav may have benefited. As you can see here, that was a comfortable win for me, fairly easy. And 932. So again, it's quite an easy win against Egypt there, but there are certainly tactics where Egypt could win, in theory. And Pharaoh's Guard can pretty much hold up the Greeks for a little bit, so the fact they have quite a good attack, actually, I think it's about 15, does help. But obviously they're still not much of a match given the defense bonus on the armoured hoplites, and even the Spartans just with the shields. That's certainly a good thing to have. As you can imagine, if you were going up against someone with a shield and a spear and you only have a spear, it's pretty obvious who's going to come off better. Anyway, that is all. Illuminatory Legion, signing out.